Every human being has three universal needs: autonomy, the space and ability to make choices over your own life; competence, the skill, knowledge, and wisdom to overcome challenges; and interconnection, mutually supportive, respectful relationships. These three traits are not just a checklist. These traits are the primary colors of empowerment itself, and when combined, create a radically different way of experiencing life. And that is called self-determination. And this is the magic of self-determination. If you develop the quality and realness of your autonomy and competence and interconnection in your own life, on your own hero's journey, you will discover such a profound and deeper wealth and develop the traits of independence and mastery, education, caregiving, boundaries, and solidarity. And this is only the beginning. So you might notice that this is not just focusing on your pursuit and your journey as an individual, but that it's also emphasizing the community. It's emphasizing the group. And so both of those are essential. And so you could develop these traits as values for a community based on self-determination that could be strong and resilient, that encourages active self-direction and participation in each person's own unique way, and encourages competent people to be in their best roles and others to learn together, and also encourages respectful, healthy, supportive relationships. And this protects against corruption and abuse and authoritarianism. It protects against ignorance and allows people to experience the true wealth of self-determination. And so, in other words, this isn't just your hero's journey. You could also say this is the game of life itself. To put it in other words, without interconnection, the game has no meaning. Without competence, there is no understanding of the game. But without autonomy, there is no game at all. And so it starts with you as one individual on your hero's journey. And you listen to the call to adventure, where you surrender completely to the natural wilderness of the real world around you, to your autonomy, and say, I am choosing to dive in and experience this world and this life as it is. You explore, you are immersed in it, and through that grappling with that reality and that exploration, you start to learn, become more skillful, wiser, and more knowledgeable about your environment and how you could respond to it. More aligned and integrated, less chaotic. And on this path, in this profound personal development, you will attract different kinds of people to you. Mentors who recognize the power and profound nature of the path that you're on. And even other people who are on their own hero's journey will resonate and see, maybe even instinctively, that you are both in the same journey. And this can get very deep and go to a profoundly deep inner place to, for some people, ego death, enlightenment, to the origins of autonomy, to consciousness itself. And this adds a completely new fundamental layer to how you experience life. And it goes deeper. So now there is a new layer developing of your relationship to autonomy and competence. And in this profound personal transformation, it brings you back into the world, from that deep inner place, into society, community, to friends and family. And you are now a transformed person that can share it with others. And so this journey is not just about each of us individually, but also how it is shared with others. It is a profoundly intimate and personal journey that is also fundamentally shared. And so this is the path that I am on. I want to make self-determination as accessible as possible to everyone and anyone, so that we can share this wonderful, incredible, and challenging, and scary, and crazy experience together, because that makes it meaningful to share it together. And so there's a couple of ways you can move forward. If you are curious and really interested to explore self-determination and how you could take those first steps, there's a couple of ways that you can do that through the work that I produce. The first thing I would recommend is to get familiar with self-determination in your own life and start exploring how you could take those first steps forward. What changes you want to make, what skills you want to develop. And so here I have my first steps writing exercise. This is available free on my website, nemosundry.com. So it helps you get familiar with the 3 traits more intuitively. It's not just memorization, but the ability to think about this creatively and independently and realize how it all starts to work in real life. And there's a series of questions that you can write about to help get to know your own situation through the lens of self-determination. The other way to pursue self-determination besides simply in your own life as one person is to develop a community space or an organization with these values in mind as part of your foundation at the community level. And for that, I recommend you check out my Spectrums of Self-Determination. These are 3 maps that are free on my website, and I have a video going over this as well. And these maps show how disempowerment and empowerment actually function and are developed. And so there is the possibility of disempowerment that continues to drag you down further and further. And yet there's also the possibility of hitting the spark, that spark, igniting that awakening, that discovery, and seeing those opportunities where you can turn it around and become transformed and empowered. And so this shows it at the individual level, at the program level, and at the community level. Those are the places I recommend you start. And if you want to discover the magic of self-determination in your own life, then I welcome you. I'm excited for you. I'm so glad you're here. Your presence is a gift. So I look forward to what you can do, the unique and beautiful things that you can do in this world. Now go out there and be an example for empowerment.